started, I want to say, welcome you to the Three Harbors Council Family Den Pilot Program kickoff meeting. This is the first of two. We're very excited to have you guys participate. Kickoff will give you the overview and the details of the pilot program, and we'll cover the things that your PAC will be expected to do during participation. To start off the meeting, there will be a quick safety moment, which is kind of becoming a standard operating procedure for a lot of national and council meetings. So with that, for adults and youth, being physically strong is one of the best ways to prevent accidents and injuries in scouting. This doesn't mean everyone has to look the same physically or that everyone must have the same diet or be able to complete the same physical challenges. What it means is that when we pay attention to our health of our Cub Scouts and other adults, we can create a safer environment for fun. As we all know, getting hurt or sick is never, ever fun. And I'm just getting over a cold, and I can attest to that. The first priority is to ensure that every Cub Scout leader has an annual health and medical record and that it's on file with the PAC. The annual health and medical record does not fall under the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, or HIPAA. We want to ensure that everyone participating in the scouting activity is aware of their health and their skill ability. The tool for doing this is the annual health and medical record. To learn more, you can watch the roundtable video titled Being Physically Strong and Ready for Fun by visiting scouting.org or clicking on this QR code here. And I will send you guys a link to this video afterwards. Also, one of the things that we want to highlight is Cub Chat Live. There are roundtable videos that are available on scouting.org covering several topics, and you can use these videos within your unit at any time. Also, take a clickable or accessible through that QR code there. And then one last item, again, Cub Chat Live, a weekly Facebook Live show that is every Friday at 2 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Every week a different topic is covered with the ability to ask questions live. The show is sponsored by Scouting Magazine, and there is a history of past Cub Chat Lives that are available there as well. So again, welcome. Thanks for agreeing to serve as a pilot PAC for the Family Den proposal. We have 3 items to cover in the kickoff. The first is to give you a quick background on the concept of piloting family dens. The second is to draw attention to key items outlined in the Memorandum of Understanding. And lastly, we have a Q&A period. So in 2021, the National Cub Scouting Committee had identified that the number of girls joining Cub Scouting nationally was about 10% of Cub Scout membership. However, when the number of girls was divided by the number of family PACs, it actually came out to less than 1. And this next slide runs a little slow, so let it catch up. A detailed review of family PACs identified that several had no girls registered, and in family PACs with more than 1, the girls were of different grade levels. In the field, this was reported as a pain point as PACs struggled to form gender-specific dens. A proposal was drafted to allow family PACs to form dens with boys and girls as an option. This would provide greater flexibility, reduce the number of den leaders needed within the same PAC, and most importantly, provide girls and boys in the same PAC a quality program. The National Survey of Family PACs was recently conducted, asking you and leaders like you how things were going. The response rate gave us a 95% confidence level with a plus or minus 3%. Overall, things are looking good in family PACs. We asked questions about what was going well and what challenges you were having. It was clear that the recruitment of volunteer leadership is a challenge. The National Cub Scouting Committee felt that having separate gender dens was a barrier, but they wanted to find out if it was really an issue for family PACs. The best way to do that was with open-ended questions to see what would bubble up, both positive and negative. We asked you what positives you liked about family scouting, and it was clear you liked having a family PAC and had a lot of positive things to say about it. Increased participation was a common theme among the most popular responses. We asked what challenges you were facing, and the top 4 issues are centered around having separate gender dens. The Family Den pilot is designed to remove this barrier. This pilot was developed using data and feedback from you, so thank you. We ask that your PAC read and complete a memorandum of understanding, which all of you have because you got the link to this meeting, that acknowledges that your chartered partner and PAC leadership are agreeing to participate, and the conditions of the pilot program. On a national level, this pilot will allow us to gather data on this delivery model. Our major indicator will be the Net Promoter Score and engagement levels measured through the Voice of the Scout survey. Please make sure your parents and leaders are aware that if they receive a survey from the VSA, to please take the time to complete it. The responses will determine the success of this pilot. And this is an email survey that is completely random. You may get 3 in a row, you may never see it. So it's a completely random email survey. The action items your PAC will need to do for the pilot are: get your charter partner agree, which you've done, use Scoutbook to set up your dens, and review and comply to the memorandum of understanding, also something you've done. The proposal went through a risk assessment and legal review. It was identified that no changes to current health and safety measures would be necessary for this proposal. We do want to remind everyone that part of our current barriers to abuse is the buddy system, and that youth buddy pairs must be single gender. In the past, this was not emphasized in Cub Scouting as the den structure was single gender. With a family den with both boys and girls, a boy and girl may not be paired up as buddies. We also want to emphasize the requirement that a registered adult female leader who is 21 years of age or older must be present anytime female youth are participating in the program. So again, now if you have both boys and girls within the same den, there does have to be at least one registered adult female leader of 21 years of age or older. As many of you know, there are specific camping policies for Cub Scouting that are in the Guide to Safe Scouting, but I just want to go through a few quick reminders. Cub Scouts can camp as a pack, and Cub Scout Webelos and Arrow of Light Scouts can camp out as a den. Pack campouts and Webelos and pack campouts and Webelos and Arrow of Light den campouts must have a blue trained leader. And Cub Scout campouts can happen at an approved site, and approval happens through us, through the local council, through Three Harbors Council. Also in Cub Scouting, parents and guardians may share a tent with their family. Cub Scouts may share a tent with their immediate family, which may include their siblings as well as their parent or guardian. If Cub Scouts of any rank are sharing a tent with other Cub Scouts instead of their family, male and female youth must camp separately, and there can be no more than a 2-year age difference. Again, this is a great time for you and your PAC leadership to review the Guide to Safe Scouting and the SAFE checklist. Again, this is something you are to do prior to any scouting activity. These resources are on scouting.org, and the online version is always the most current policy. Again, you've got the QR codes here that you can snapshot when you get the link to this later, and you can bookmark those resources on your computer. Want to go through a quick walkthrough on how to set up dens in Scoutbook. If you're probably familiar with this if you're using Scoutbook, so this will probably kind of be a rehash, but if you're not, it just gives you an idea of what you're going to be working with. If you're new to Scoutbook, you can access it simply by going to scoutbook.com. Your PAC is already in Scoutbook as it's a portal to your official PAC records, whether you've used it or not. You log in using the same username and password as you would for your my.scouting.org account. You'll first need to have administrative rights to your PAC in order to create dens. Administrative rights are automatic for the registered chartered organization representative, PAC committee chair, and Cub master. Administrative rights can be given to any registered leader in the PAC by the chartered organization representative or the PAC committee chair. So once you're logged in, you'll land on the home screen. So you click on the PAC on the right-hand side. This particular account has multiple units, probably because the person is registered in different units. So you'll click on your PAC. From the PAC page, you may see dens already set up. If you've already done that, great. You can use the existing dens to fill with leaders and youth. If you need to create a den, you will find the button to do so on the lower right side after the list of dens. You'll then identify the type of den you are creating and give it a den number. So, the den you created will show up on the PAC page, and then you click on that den. And from that den page, you can add new leaders or new scouts, just as you might have in the other dens you have. From there are a variety of ways to add a scout based on if the scout is already in a den or not. It is important to remember that adding a scout on Scoutbook does not register a scout in the BSA. New scouts still need to register to be official members of your PAC and can register online or via paper application. If the scout is already in the PAC, you could click the reassign button, and that will take you to a roster of the PAC, and you can pick all the youth you want to invite into that den. The other option is to add a new scout who is not in Scoutbook and invite them to join the den. When you're setting up your den, if you need help, you can also click on help.scoutbook.scouting.org. And I think there's a help that's very quickly linkable once you're in Scoutbook. You may not necessarily need to type out that whole web address. One thing we want to make sure that's clear is that this pilot is not a path forward, or should it be interpreted as one that has any changes to Scouts BSA. The data on Scouts BSA and the structure of single gender troops is not comparable to Cub Scouting. So that'll mean to properly prepare 5th grade Cub Scouts for Scouts BSA, where they will be in a single gender troop. The 5th grade Cub Scouts are to remain in separate gender dens. And we, as the council, will enforce this standard with our PACs that are participating in this program, as well as any district or council level programming. So to be clear, the pilot program applies from Lions through Webelos, and then Arrow of Light they split back into single gender dens. If you've got any questions as you're proceeding through the pilot program, feel free to reach out to your district executive. You can also reach out to me. We do have a person on our staff who is pretty well versed in Scoutbook, but since she's on a vacation, I haven't had a chance to talk to her about this yet. So once I do, I'll provide that contact information for you for any Scoutbook related questions, because anybody who comes to a Scoutbook, comes to me with a Scoutbook question, I go to her. So, or I just pass them straight to her because she's great with it. But I want to make sure she's on board before I start throwing her name out there. So,